All right, what is up, traders? I'm excited about this one. In this video, I'm going to go over 5 possible things that could absolutely make Bitcoin get a bullish bounce from this region. So if you're new to the channel, welcome. If not, welcome back. Let's get started. Demand is at $46,000. So while we're not through the demand zone yet, there's no point in looking at the support. Now on to the confluences. First, we have this trend line here. If you take from the swing high of April the 12th, tack it to the swing high of August the 30th, you can see that it coincides nicely with that Heath level right there, that demand zone. So that's 2 forms of confluence. Let's go bring up the 21 exponential moving average. This is the 2-week time frame. You can see that the 21 exponential moving average is sliding in right through there nice and beautifully. There is a third measure of possible confluence for looking for bullish bounces. The fourth one would be if you take your Fibonacci extension from this swing low, or not extension, apologies, Fibonacci retracement from this swing low, which is July the 19th, up to this swing high, November the 8th. You can see that the 618 retracement level is at $44,466, just under that demand zone. So there's another portion of confluence. You're going to hear me say the word confluence several times in this video. There is another one, all right? And it's the main trend line that I have been speaking of for quite a long time. Basically, you go from there to there, and then if you scale out, you can see since the March 2020 sell-off, since the very beginning of the third halvening's bullish market phase, this trend line has not seen a 2-week closure under it. So essentially, this trend line is the trend line for the 2021 bullish market phase. So that also comes in there as well. Now, the problem with this is we currently are trading beneath that level. If I go out to a weekly, you can see it better. You did not close last week below the level. You closed above it. But this week, you already took out last week's low. So that typically doesn't look good. But I'm looking at this candle, since all of this confluence is down here, to potentially be a bear trap. So we are looking for a bullish bounce once again. All right, so let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this, and let's go talk about the last one for potential bullishness, and that is the RSI. So you can see here, let's go back out to the 2-week, because the weekly's already broke back below that 50 spot on the RSI, but the 2-week candle has not. You can see that you are above the 50 on the RSI, which does indeed still indicate that the bulls are still in control. Now, this isn't what I want to show you on the RSI. What I wanted to show you on the RSI is that you are printing hidden bullish divergence. So hidden bullish divergence is when the bottom of your oscillator makes a lower low and your price has not made a lower low. That is hidden bullish divergence. If you want to learn about bullish divergence, regular divergences, and hidden divergences, you can do so by going to babypips.com. I am not affiliated with babypips.com. I am not getting paid for this. This is not an advertisement. It is simply a free tool that you can use to learn how to distinguish the differences between all the different divergences that are out there. So yeah, there you go. Hidden bullish divergence coming in there as well. So that's like 5 different confluences that we could potentially see a bullish bounce from this zone. Now I want to bring something else to the forefront. Here, let me see what's going on here. All right, so this person here, I'm not familiar of how to say that name. I'm just going to call it Joanne's, because that's what it looks like, but they are at Ultra Virtue. I just ran into them yesterday. I've never even heard of this person before, and they had like 1,000 subscribers or followers yesterday, and you can see already today they're up to 2,500 followers just from this chart alone. So people are really looking for every single permutation of bullishness that they can find in these markets. So yeah, I don't like trading like that. I suggest you don't do that kind of stuff. But if you're a long-term hodler, the end of this video is going to be something you might not want to hear. So that's why I decided to do the technical analysis first, show you all those divergences. So let's bring this chart over here. Basically, this is the EU. You can see that in this downturn near the bottom, you can start to see the buying pick up. So that's fantastic. Same for this one here. This is the United States. during working hours, 30-day change in Bitcoin price during US working hours. I'm assuming that means during market open, during the market trading hours. You can see that the buying is kicking up here in the US as well. And then finally, let me bring out the one that's caused all of the whole entire downtrend, to be honest with you. So here it is. This is your downtrend. This is the 30-day change in Bitcoin price during Asia working hours. Look at that terribleness. So I'm assuming that this selling is coming from two different drivers. One being that China is trying to ban Bitcoin and all Bitcoin mining in China. They want to get away from it. So that caused the first initial wave of selling. And then the second thing that this could be attributed to would be the Evergrande scenario going on over in China right now. If you're not familiar with Evergrande, just type it in the Google type bar and you can learn everything you need to learn about. That's not what this video is going to be for. I'm just speculating on what the two main drivers could potentially be for the reason why we've seen such massive selling. Now, the important part to take away from this chart is that, yes, the selling is subsiding. It looks like the selling has topped out. This model, when you get continuation of days, you're going to see these things probably start to edge out. So you see how this one is shaped, how you get the spike all the way to the downside, and then it forms like a triangle. Well, we're going to expect the same thing there. So what's going to happen once this starts to get down into these regions? Then I suspect that the buying pressure will outweigh the selling pressure, and then you'll see price potentially bounce. Now remember, I am not calling a massive bounce. I am simply calling for a bounce, and it doesn't mean it's going to happen either. Tomorrow's the close, so we will wait for tomorrow's close before we make any drastic decisions on basically what we want to do. Remember, it's still in a daily downtrend. Anytime you get a bullish pop in price or anytime you get a bullish move in price during downtrends, usually the tops of those moves get sold. Right? They usually get sold into. If the Asian selling is subsiding with the multiple technical confluences that I've shown you in this video, you can start to see how there is a possibility that we may get a bullish bounce from here. All right, now for the last part of this video, the bearish stuff. This is only directed towards people that have bought Bitcoin at higher prices. Like if you've purchased Bitcoin like above 50K, then this applies to you. All right. If you bought Bitcoin lower and you're like me, you're just hodling for the next several halvings, then you have nothing to worry about. So basically, if you look at this 4-year market cycle, it works out the same all the time, right? Each time you've had a halving, I'm not talking about the first bullish market phase for Bitcoin. I'm talking specifically after the first halving and to where we are now, because the halving is the crucial part of this whole thing. You have your halving, you have a bullish blow off, run up to the upside, multiple X's of percents to the bullish side. Then once you put in a top, and in both scenarios, both tops were called in December. I know you guys have heard me say all this stuff before, but it's imperative that you listen if you have purchased Bitcoin above 50K. And I'm about to get to that. So basically, to make the long story short, every single both of these previous market cycles done exactly the same thing. Can we expect that to happen over here? Is there a potential for it? All right, that's all I'm asking you. Is there a potential that we have seen a top in Bitcoin, being that it is December, seeing how monetary policy just took a huge swing from being ultra dovish to considerably hawkish? All right, you got monetary policy changes in the form of they are going to hike rates. They have publicly announced it. Obviously, I know that if some big phenomenon occurs, they don't have to hike rates. I understand that. But with what data they have and what data we have currently in time, at this point in time, it is possible that Bitcoin has put in a top. With the monetary policy, with the 4-year cycle model, there is a potential that Bitcoin's put in a top. If you bought lower, you're fine. If you bought up above $50,000, what you need to understand is that you could potentially be sitting in a drawdown that goes all the way down to 13K, 14K. All right. Each time Bitcoin put in a top and then had a bear market phase, Bitcoin saw as much as 80% declines, 83% decline there from cycle peak to bear market low, 83% here from cycle peak to bear market low. So I just did 80% here from cycle peak to potential bear market low, and that will put you at around 14K. If you will be financially destroyed, if Bitcoin has an 80% correction from where it currently is, or from the current all-time high, then I must really encourage you to step back, think objectively, and say, do I want to chance this or do I not want to chance it? Because I was extremely bullish when price was going higher. I am still bullish for a potential bounce right now, but I believe that there's a good possibility that that bounce is just going to be another lower high. And if that occurs, that will be a great opportunity for anybody that bought extremely high, anything over 50K, for you to get out, right? I don't know if Bitcoin's going to have a bear market. I don't know if Bitcoin's going to go up to $200,000. I have no clue, and nobody else does either. But what I do know is what I can see in the data that is before our very eyes, all right? So with that being said, if you guys don't mind, I am trying to get my subscriber count up to 10,000 subscribers. I think the information that I put out on this channel is worthy of at least 10,000 subs. So that is my goal. It would be a fantastic goal to reach before the end of the year. If you guys can help me with that, that'd be fantastic. Also, if you like the information that I shared in this video, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Make sure you guys trade safe. Make sure you trade smart. And as always, happy trading, everybody.